such a weird thing at this point. Podcasting, recording, streaming, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. I don't know what to call it anymore. This thing that I call myself doing isn't. I don't know. It's confessional. That's what this is. This is The Office. This is Abbott Elementary. This is me sitting in the confessional. This is documentary style. That's what I don't know. It's been tough to give a name to what I'm doing. See, it's even funny right now. Because what I hear myself doing is talking to the audience through myself. So I hear myself explaining something that I'm having to think through and explaining the explanation, which is unnecessary. But that's what the whole purpose of this. I'm trying to get so good at articulating my thoughts and my vision, my plan, what I see, right? Speaking what I see until I see what I speak. At a level that there's no disconnect from the speak and the see. Right? I think that's how you get there. That's what manifestation is, where your vision and your voice match, but there's alignment between the two. What I noticed in saying that, like the reason I bring that up and that what I was saying was, I hear myself in my head like, this is a weird format. Everything I've been doing has been a weird format. To sit in front of a camera, just me. I'm looking at me. Talk. There's nobody else here. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. And in theory, not in theory, I mean like for real, nobody but me could ever hear and I'm not gonna listen to this. I'm not gonna watch this back in the sense of like watching like it's a new podcast. I'm not gonna do that. I guess it is a new podcast. I might want to do a little introduction, a little intro. That is, you want to talk about consistency within the intro. That is my consistency within the intro, that there is no real intro. I've been trying to build an intro, a podcast intro, since I started doing the Marcus Hendricks show 2 years ago. My intro is, what's up, world? I'm here. God bless you for having me here. Like, you're welcome. You're welcome. My presence is a present. Kiss my... No, seriously. What I put for the show, the description. So ChatGPT, I edited down what it said, right? Show description says, this isn't a podcast. It's a system in motion. Marcus Uninterrupted is the live, unedited record of a builder thinking out loud on purpose. It's voice notes meets manifesto. Walk talk meets blueprint. A show where there's no performance, just raw cognition in real time. Created and hosted by Marcus E. Hendricks Jr. That's me. See, watching that just now, that didn't look like, this is where belief becomes infrastructure, where internal clarity becomes public archive. Half-finished revelations, recurring loops, sermons, confessions, breakdowns, and breakthroughs. If you're looking for polish, go elsewhere. If you're looking for the truth, welcome home. Which I mean, like, that's like, so let's get into it. See, I see that. I hope that doesn't wax on, wax up. I hope that doesn't affect the video quality. This lag. I'm not sure if I'm imagining a lag. Anyway, everything I've been wanting to do in podcast, like it's weird because again, okay, here's what. The podcasts I watch, like the stuff that I tune into is NPR and the New Yorker and the Atlantic, and I listen to the Atlantic radio hour. So I've always been used to this polish. And even, I mean, okay. I grew up with a grandmother that listened to a lot of NPR. So I always understood the difference between AM and FM radio. Like I could always hear it. I always knew that there was a difference between broadcast media, like news media and regular entertainment in that sense, like how it came about, the quality of it, the presentation format, and just its function. And then when I first learned like Sirius XM and like iHeartRadio, those stations, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a clear difference in something that is like syndicated, like nationally syndicated, broadcast, and digital. Right? I think that's the different medium. Because yeah, I mean, radio is radio frequencies. This is a different medium. It's. I don't want to get into some because I know apparently I don't know that's what this journey is going to be about too. In the specifics of this show, I don't know. We'll see if we get some fans, and we'll see what it builds up to. But my point, like I was saying, is the whole purpose of this is it's a confession. As my last show, as the Marcus Hendricks show was, just the ability to say even that, as my last show was. Yo, this is not my first rodeo. It's not my first time doing it. That's why I'm like, it's crazy because Instagram lives don't feel right. Even though it does feel like there should be people witnessing it in real time, right? Um, to just post it on YouTube and hope that it's like, I don't know, YouTube is like an abyss now. It's so overloaded and oversaturated. But what I enjoy is Spotify. That's where I consume my content. So and maybe that's really, I mean, I'm just doing what I would want to watch. Like this is what I would be able to sit with myself. If somebody were doing this, I think I would sit and watch it. Yeah, that's the thing. If somebody were doing this, I would sit and watch it. Because I already like I was watching something earlier, like the long form content that seemed to be clipped. Because even I'm seeing this, I appreciate Spotify's preview piece of it because it feels like the scroll, right? It's like TikTok and Instagram, like all the apps, without having to be on the apps. And that's the main thing is me trying to find. I've been trying to find the longest a platform to pull people to consume my message. Yet that's just not easy when all the different mediums are made for. That's the thing too is none of them are made for anything other than what they're made. So it's one thing to utilize their their tools in a way that they didn't design for, but that's available on that. For me, I don't only want to use their tools in a way that they're not designed for. I want to completely use new tools. I want to design new tools and design them for new purposes. And maybe that's why me like my knowledge of the only way I know that they're not designed for my purposes is because I know what purpose I want to use them for. Like if you didn't know what you were looking to use the tools for, what tools you needed, you wouldn't know that they weren't serving your purposes and kind of the other way around, like vice versa within that. For me, I need a place to send people, to pull my audience to, and also just to exist, like for myself, without having to feel like I'm being. I don't. My issue is not being perceived or seen. Like that's not the thing. Uh, or and it's not. No, that's not true. I have no issue with being seen. Never had that. And my issue is not with being perceived. If with being perceived improperly. Right? Because if perception is reality, and when somebody improperly perceives you, they get to incorrectly define your reality. And now I have to shift. I have to act outside of my actual reality to get you perceived differently. I'm not about that. I cannot. I cannot. I don't do the faking. I just cannot fake the funk. And because okay, here's why too. Like, and I think about Castanet. He's a perfect like the idea that here's the truth. You know, whether or not I am being honest in who I am, by choosing, I told my students always, like, it's not easy. It's hard to sit down for an hour, 2 hours, and talk. Yeah, this is. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to just pull audio and talk and not tell the truth to not be honest because I'm hearing myself talk. So I have to question. I'm like, yeah, is that true though? Yeah, do you mean that? And not just in real time. Like you got to sit with it afterward, and then tomorrow, like tomorrow's still gonna come. That's what I think about that. Like, do you have to not have anybody in your life holding you accountable to not. If I sit down here in this chair and lie on this camera for even 30 seconds, I have to then choose whether I'm going to continue the lie or not. Like, not just in the camera, in my life. That's what be tripping me out about people. That you have to maintain a facade that just is not worth it. Because I'm just thinking, like the value of fame and selling out. I don't see a world where not being your authentic self is worth the price of admission to the Illuminati. Like I just I'm transcribing over here. Like even that, I don't. I'm trying to get into this space of my G of being okay being me, right? Like I don't know. Maybe I say it's not normal for me just because it's not a normal thing. I I don't think I think it's not a normal thing to record self. If this is an ad, if this is self promotion, whether it feels that way to others or not, and whether that is my intent or not, it is. This is an ad. This is an advertisement for my business, for my life, for my offerings, for my products, for my merch. This is a yeah, I hesitate to call it unnatural because it feels natural. And I don't know if that's just for me or period. What I know is and maybe it's hard to hide from yourself this way. Like it is really hard to hide from yourself. If for no reason other than the fact that I literally have to look me in the eye. It's been 10 minutes. Right. So the ability to sit and ramble, yeah, just go on for 10 minutes, stream of consciousness for 10 minutes, but also having to look at myself while I do it. And I think back to they say there was a period where, pre-lights. So damn a mirror, you couldn't see yourself if you wanted to. Then we had light, but you didn't have phones for you weren't what was I doing earlier that I think I was watching a movie on my phone and just the way that I could see myself in the phone reflection while watching the movie. I could fully see myself. Before there was a time when we weren't watching we weren't visible to ourselves. And like, that is the piece of it of saying, wow, consciousness has evolved to such a level. Because that means we weren't dictating our own lives. I often think about and maybe like that's what makes it feel unnatural. I live in North Texas. Okay. There was a point 150 years ago, 200 years ago, where I could not walk these streets freely. There was no just go take a walk. You're my like their lives. Their My life is my own, and to know that that is as I panned, I just caught a glimpse of. So to my right, I got ChatGPT transcribing everything. So whether nobody ever in the history of Everdom watches this video, that's fine. That's the weird thing about it. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, did the tree fall? Well, if the tree was recorded, if the tree was live streaming, yeah. If the tree was on Twitch, timber like this is how I know. You can call it what you want to. It's not because I'm not funny. It's not because I'm not intellectual. It is not because I'm not attractive. It is not because I'm not ambitious. It is not because I'm not bold and willing. It it's not. It is not. That's one thing for sure. Oh my goodness. It's none of that. I thought these were gonna be like 45 minutes. That might be all I needed to say. It's none of that. So when you do get to see this, when y'all do get to lay eyes on this, it's none of that. That's not the problem. I was watching this. I'm telling you, one thing for sure, two things for certain. If I had a camera on me all day, I'm not even saying I would blow up. Probably not. That's my point. So like, I would be talking just more about like I would be honest. I'd be truthful, and that people shy away from that when what you're being. Because my thing of saying it, and that thing about the natural. what I was getting at of saying this being natural for me, why I'm easy to do it, is because all I'm doing, this is getting into the depths of human. I liked Inside Out 2, specifically the point where she says, where they're talking about like getting to the to reset the identity, her identity. And it was like if you take a stream of consciousness to the back of the mind, and I was like, man, that's fire. Because that's exactly what it is. You sit down, this is a stream of consciousness to the back of, we're tapping, I'm speaking from my subconscious mind right. But like when in the beginning where I say I feel like I'm talking to the audience, I'm explaining the explanation. Because even I'm processing it and understanding it and realizing it for the first in real time. Maybe not the first time, but in real time, which is how you begin to build reality. Right? So I'm transforming and reshaping the reality that I exist within in this moment. Not just on a physical, spiritual, emotional level, and a mental level, like for me, but out there. That I'm talking to me right now. This shit's crazy. Okay. I think this is why I want to go on for hours. I want to go forever. I literally just want to sit down and talk for forever. Like, I'm like, if I could smoke and talk for forever, which in theory, like, why can't I? And nothing says I can't, and fully I can. Look at Wiz. But there's no but about it, actually. There's no but. That's it. That's all. If I find that this will go, I don't know if I have a time limit on it. Don't let me find out I have no time limit on it. Like, don't let me be able to plop this down and just go for 5, 6 hours. I sit out here not most of the day, but I sit out here for a good amount of the day anyway, listen to podcasts, music, whatever. I'm like legit. Me out here with my soundboard, we can listen to. I'm like, but telling me too, I can invite the audience in. For sure, for sure. Yes, I don't know. I mean, like, where this. That's what I was like. My first thoughts are like, what am I going to say in the beginning? Where this goes, I've been saying for the longest, I don't know, but that's because I truly don't. And I'm pretty sure at some point when I started recording TMHS, I said, I don't know where this goes. Well, this is where it went, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I know I'll build from it regardless. I know that even if I never post this, if this is the only one I do post, if nobody watches any one of them, I say I don't know where this goes. The vision, the idea here, I'm trying to record. I want to record every day for the rest of my life. I want to know what that will look like. Like I say, obviously we know where things are headed. Like that's kind of part of it. And that's what I'm saying. That's the goal. That's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm aiming at. But it's simply going to take me to the next thing, the next step. And I know that truly is my act. That's a goal. Like, well, you know what's funny? I know because in the beginning, it's going the same place it was when I said it the first time. It's going toward Agora. It's going toward alternative capital. It's going toward Hustle House. It's going toward the Hendrix Collective. It's going toward the Hendrix Research Park. Zion. Yeah, like that's where I'm even in this moment is why I want to do this daily. Because I don't want to force thoughts and ideas out just because I'm worried I may miss them. Trust, like if I'm hearing it and I know that I got it logged, okay, I got it tracked. I'm telling myself, I'm telling my brain, don't worry, it won't be forgotten. It's already known and remembered, so you won't need to, but to recall it will be easy too because you know what needs to be recalled. So I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is me going like trying to pull stuff out of my mind and then having to deal with it and not being ready to deal with it because it wasn't ready to show itself on its own. And what I like that's something that I want to say that better, and I know I'm saying it, but I want to say that better. But exactly what I'm saying is I know for a fact what I'm saying will come out more clear and more clean if I stop trying to say it. One of my mottos is stand back to stand up. or stand back, step back to step up, stand back to step up. However you want to play it. Stand back, step up, stand back, stand up, step back, step up. You step step back, stand up. However you want to. My point in that is, I mean, in the whole, I guess what I've been saying this entire time, right? That taking the stream of consciousness to the back of the mind, it's like the lazy river, right? Like that whole idea. You're not. It's catching the transcription. Like that too. I want to find a way to. I don't know if it matters. Notion, AI meeting notes. Because it's a lot. Uh, yeah, having the Notion AI meeting notes piece of it in their core commons act. That's beautiful. Anyway, take the stream of the mind, stream of consciousness to the back of the mind. That whole idea is it's a process, and it's something you have to allow to happen. Like it's a flow, right? So that's what when I out taking a walk or something. Like if I'm taking a walk and then something that comes up and I want to think through it, but it's not coming out as clear as I wanted to in that moment. I tell myself, okay, guy, like it's logged, noted, locked in, clocked. Okay, recorded. I maybe take a quick note down if needed. Um, but from there, the whole point, excuse me, is to and that's where so either intentional distractions and even my distractions are distractions. So if I'm up and I'm like, dang, I can't remember a certain song, but I know that song was driving me to something else. Right? I'll either okay, I'm not pressed on trying to force myself to remember the song. That's not going to work. But what I will do is track back and not retrace my steps. Yes, retrace my steps, but retracing my steps in the idea of this is where I'm looking to go. How would I have gotten there in the first place? Sometimes I find a more efficient path, or I find what I was. That's how I find what I was doing. But other times, that's tend to be how I recall something or how I build upon something. Right. So it's like if it's something that a question I want to ask ChatGPT at the start of the day, right? Anything. But I know that I don't have the full question, or I know that I'm asking for the sake of asking the question and not for getting the answer. I'll let it ride and I let it sit, and maybe I'll go find a podcast that has to do with that, right? Or listen to some music, whatever it may be. Sit, talk, think. I look up and I'm building on it. It's not just that it just pops up; it's that it's building vertical integration. Then you look up and it's like, okay, that's its final point. That was the final thought. Which isn't that everything? There are no final products. Nothing is ever truly finished. It's waiting for its next iteration. And if time expires before we get there, then it doesn't matter. Right? Which is why, like, the get rich or die trying to die by is that you got richer than your mind. Jesus got a song with CeeLo called Entrepreneur, and the trap is all capitalized, TRAP, it's capitalized. And I just said, like, you got you're a millionaire in your mind. You just got to unlock it. You got to take it. You got to take it. It's like a scavenger hunt, and it is. That's what my motto: masterminds, master the mind. It's all up here. I mean, in the idea that it literally is all up here. We're creating it all up here. We're living it all up here. We're experiencing it all up here and out here. But it starts, exists, and ends up here. Like, oh, it's all in the mind. Imagination more powerful than knowledge than yeah, says Einstein. It's all in the mind. Like what I like to teach and build with brothers about how easy it is to reach a mill. Or you needed some skill, then it's grind time. Imagination better than knowledge from Einstein. It's all in the mind. It's Nazir. I don't know. Because I'm saying this really is the feeling that I live within every day. And I don't see it changing anytime soon for the fact that I'm going to continue to choose it every day. And I know in choosing it that there are days that it won't feel like I expect it to feel. But by the simple act of having chosen it, I'm not worried. That's faith. That's belief. That's knowing. It's trust, right? Even that, it's me knowing that if I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I allow my subconscious mind to work through that because I know that it's trying to alert me to something, false or real. It's trying to bring something to my attention to get me to think about something. Okay, right. So if I wake up with anxiety, well, you're anxious about something. There's something you're anxious about. So I will. I mean, and sometimes it does take the in deep and sitting with you, but even that, again, it's a intentional process to get still, to be, to exist, to allow myself to literally let my brain work through it all. What I don't want to. Anyway, and these don't feel like podcasts. These feel like live streams. But even in the context of like it feels like a live stream, what we know live stream as is not this. I don't know. It's interesting when you are literally reinventing the wheel. Not even, you know what? Not even reinventing the wheel. Inventing something completely new, and it's like we need a car to put the wheel on. So I got to make the car too, and the engine. But this car also doesn't run on petroleum. It is not a gas powered car. And I got to build the battery, specs, all of it. My thing is like I'm okay with that, but all I can say is let me cook. This is Marcus Uninterrupted. I am uninterrupted. Very much interrupted by that truck just now. But sitting at 27, almost 28 minutes, knowing I could go for 3 hours, knowing that nobody's gonna sit with me for 3 hours, and it being is what it is regardless. Because I want to say God bless America. Like in a very real, I guess I want to pray. This is the moment to pray. Right? This is the moment to but you pray and then it's like well you're alienating certain audience. It's like, yeah, and that's the audience I need to reach. That's the audience I need to be prayed for. So what should we do? Not pray? I haven't said a single curse word in 30 minutes. I may have said ass. And just there's an audience that like if you don't say bad words to them, like that's not it literally doesn't sound right without cursing. I'll never forget, and I'm like, I look back, you know, you can tell these moments building up when when Trinidad James All Gold Everything dropped. I remember my sister playing that song for my mom. My sister's 8 years older than me. And I remember her saying like it doesn't sound the same without the clean version just is not as good. Without him nigga nigga nigga, it just don't sound the same. And it's right, like clean versions of rap music don't sound the same. Which is why I mean I even know I did not curse here because well one I'm you know am trying to not curse to be better with my language and being but I use curse words with intention on purpose when I do. But to know that you have most of the population that cannot discern and separate the nuance between ignorance and intention is sad. It takes intelligence to recognize intelligence. And that's what scares me. So this has been Marcus Uninterrupted. I am Marcus Uninterrupted. Ooh, There's something there. There's something everywhere. Everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. All right. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Peace.